Welcome to Focus on Your Health. I'm Dr. Elvira Higgs, and I am so excited because we've just completed our Fresh Start program with two of our recently graduates from Uchee Pines Institute, Siobhan Claire and Lakeisha Linden. And we had a beautiful weekend. The place was packed, the people had lots of questions, and they absolutely enjoyed themselves. But with me today, I have their lecturer, Ron Meinhardt from Uchee Pines Institute, and he is the Lifestyle Educator Director there. And of course, Siobhan and Lakeisha's teacher. So we are happy to have you in studio this morning, Ron. Welcome to Focus on Your Health. You've already been welcomed to the Bahamas, and I'm sure the staff here wants to welcome you to the show as well.
Yes, thank you. It's a privilege to be here. Truly a great blessing, and we've already experienced tremendous blessings since we've been here. We had a wonderful turnout at our nightly meetings.
Yes.
And truly coming away from it all, I was blessed. Whenever you're given the opportunity to share, it's always, you end up being shared with as well.
Yes.
And you receive a blessing as well. So it's truly a wonderful experience thus far.
Great. Now, tell our audience, what do you do at Uchee Pines Lifestyle? What is the LE or Lifestyle Educator? What the program is all about?
Okay. Well, basically, the LE program is a 6-month training program, a Lifestyle Educator program that is, a 6-month training program designed to equip individuals from all manners of experience, whether they come from a health professional background or just graduated from high school, all coming down to the same level of missionary training. And basically what we focus on is a fundamental series of courses that is designed to prepare individuals to work as Jesus worked.
Okay.
Not just to work on the lines of health and wellness, but also to bring spiritual health to individuals that are dying for a lack of want or a lack of spiritual guidance as well.
Right. Okay. Now, being a Uchee Piner myself, I know that the focus was on still the Bible, like you just mentioned.
That's right.
And of course, our great physician says, I am the Lord that healeth thee.
Amen.
So I can see why we're bringing in the physical and the spiritual there as well, and the mental as well. Exactly. And I usually say here to the folks, the financial, because once you're in good health, you do not have to be spending all that money to the physicians or on drugs. Okay? So give us now a little more in-depth of what is taught there. What do they learn?
All right. Well, we start out with a basic instruction in how to go from house to house, door to door, place to place in a practical way, helping individuals.
Okay.
We start out with a little bit of theory, but we want the focus mainly to be practical. We want our trainees to come away from the program with a practical knowledge of how to do this work. For we feel that if we send individuals away after 6 months and all they have is a bunch of theory, then they have to sort it all out and figure out, how do I make this work?
Okay.
So we want to have them see it work in practice. Of course, we do give plenty of theory. We go through anatomy and physiology, disease and its treatments. We go through Bible doctrines and how to give Bible studies, how to share Christ, how to bring others to Christ, how to help make decisions for Christ, public speaking. We cover a lot in 6 months.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a marathon event. But truly, it's a real blessing, I know, for the trainees that attend. Another thing that we focus on, we attempt to maintain the principles of true education, which really are the development of the whole person. When Jesus was on this earth, he said to many people, "Will thou be made whole?"
Yes.
And we re-echo that sentiment in our training, for we focus not only on the intellect, but also on the body as well, and of course the character. We have plenty of physical exertion involved in our program as well. We have a farm there at Uchee Pines, and the farm this year has been tremendous.
Oh, yes.
I must say, you saw it.
Yes,
okay.
yes. Enjoyed some of the good fruits
Amen.
and vegetables from there as well.
Amen. It's such a blessing to know how to cultivate your own fruits and vegetables.
Right.
And not only is it a blessing to receive the bounties of the land, but also there's something to just working the fields. Something when you're getting down, you're pulling out the weeds, you're thinking about the weeds in our own lives even. And so many object lessons to learn there. So we try to have a good balance between the theory, the practical, and the character building and spiritual instruction as well, so that it's a harmonious development of the whole person.
Right, right. And of course, what our audience would like to hear, that it's organic farming.
That's right.
You use the compost. Tell us a little bit about compost.
Okay.
How do you work with that?
Well, compost is a very, very rich source of nutrient for plants. It's basically accomplished by just letting your banana peels, orange peels, lettuce that is starting to go a little bit bad, putting that somewhere away from your house and letting it decompose.
Yes.
Then you just turn the soil over and over on that, and it breaks down into this very rich soil, which is full of nutrients for other plants. And so in composting around or putting compost around the plants, you'll see a great increase in both nutrient value of the plants and also the growth rate.
Yes.
You'll see them really grow very rapidly and very beautifully.
And very big.
That's right.
I think when we went to get some watermelons for some friends of ours, family who came by to visit, the pumpkin was so huge. Don't remember his name. I said, we need to get a forklift to move it from here. And I'm saying, I've never seen it that huge. What I was pleased with is the growth of it, because you have herbs, you have vegetables, and you have fruits.
That's
While
right.
I was there, we only did the vegetables. And we had the apple orchard, okay, which is very, very good. Now, the students are taught how to grow their own garden.
That's right.
Or how to compost.
That's right.
So when they leave, the two that are here now can come home. They're home now and they can do their own, set up their own gardening. This is exactly what we need. Now, you mentioned anatomy and physiology. Give us a little bit about what that is.
Okay. Our course on anatomy and physiology is somewhat different than you would find in a normal school. In fact, I went through nursing education and I took anatomy and physiology, and we actually have doctors that come through our program and they say, oh, I've already taken anatomy and physiology. They take the course and they said, I've never heard this before.
Thank you. Yes.
Because we teach anatomy and physiology in such a way that it's practically applied. It's something that you'll easily remember because it's very usable. In fact, really, truly the value of education can be gauged by its ability to be practically applied. Because if you're learning something that's not practical, when will you use it?
Right.
That's the question that we ask. So we try to make everything practical. This is why we framed our anatomy and physiology course on the basis of looking at a disease and then going through the anatomy and physiology related to that disease, going through prevention of that disease, treatment using natural means, simply at your hand, such as simple treatments, hydrotherapy, herbs, just lifestyle modification, a little bit more walking, more water, and so on and so forth. Very simple remedies. And then we bring it all back to a spiritual concept as well, which is really what is often coupled with these diseases. Oftentimes you'll have people that have cancer that also have depression.
Yes.
You know, they're suffering from obesity and they have anxiety. And so what we need to do is we need to treat the whole person. And so we teach in a manner so that the trainees are ready. They're already seeing how it works. They see the whole package put together in our anatomy and physiology class. So, and it's a tremendous blessing to be able to teach that way as well.
That's exciting. So now the disease process, how do you go about explaining or helping them with that? Do you focus on several diseases like diabetes, hypertension, those kinds of things? Okay, well, give us a little insight.
What we do is we break it down so that we have, let's say, one disease.
Okay.
Let's say we're looking at high blood pressure.
Okay.
What we'll do is we'll talk about high blood pressure, and as you know, that's the silent killer.
Yes.
So we really need to know the symptoms that may arise, and also how to take blood pressure, how to detect high blood pressure, and then we go into the circulatory system.
Okay.
Anatomy and physiology relating to the circulatory system. It's wonderful to be able to teach blood pressure, how to take blood pressure using the description of what's actually going on. What are the sounds that you're actually hearing from that stethoscope?
Okay.
So it's an exciting moment to see the light bulbs kind of going off in the students' minds when they realize, wow, I'm hearing this, and now I know exactly what it is.
Okay.
And so it's a tremendous blessing to be able to teach that way, as I said before. And from what I've heard from the trainees, it's a tremendous blessing to be able to learn that way as well. The retention is much higher.
Yes.
And the excitement for learning is there too.
Okay, now what we also want to stress now too is the use of herbs.
Yes.
During that same course. So they're taught how to use the stethoscope, what to listen for, how to take the blood pressure. Now, what are the treatments you would give to a person with high blood pressure or hypertension?
Okay, with high blood pressure, the best treatment that we could give that person is, first of all, beginning in the mind.
Okay.
And that is to leave your troubles behind.
Oh.
And there's only one way to do that, by introducing them to Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And some people aren't quite ready for that, so what we'll do is we'll teach them other ways of temporarily putting anxiety away, which have to do with deep breathing, taking a walk, trying to put things out of their mind that they're constantly dwelling upon and thinking about good things. These are all biblical principles as well.
Okay.
Of course, we're told that the health message is the entering wedge, preparing the heart for other truths to be made manifest to that person. And it's also the gospel in practice. It's a gospel practically carried out. So when we are loving and we are giving truthful health advice and beneficial health advice to individuals, they're more open to hear what else we have to say. They want to know, what makes you different than others? Why are you helping me with my condition when others just want to get money from me?
Okay.
And we find that the case of the biblical case of something like this happening, where the lady who was plagued with the issue of bleeding for many years spent all her money trying to find some way of cure, and she could never quite get there. She spent all of her money, and eventually, when all her money was gone, she heard about Jesus.
Yes.
And she realized, if I can only just touch the fringe of his garment, I can be made whole.
Yes.
And we're told that the outer garment is representative of our character. She wanted to touch the character of Christ. She wanted to be like Jesus. That's what she wanted to do. And truly, that's the balm in Gilead. That is when the Son of Righteousness arises with healing in his wings in our lives. And so what we aim to do is really to get people from a state of sickness to a state of wholeness. And true wholeness only comes when we have Jesus Christ in our hearts.
Yes.
And so we will hope to lead people all the way. But if they're not content to know Jesus Christ, we're still content to help them as much as we can.
Yes.
Because God told us we need to love him first of all and love our neighbor as ourselves.
Okay.
And so that's what we aim to instill in the hearts and the minds of our trainees. And, the classes are important, but this attitude is essential. The attitude of love towards our fellow man and woman, this is the essential characteristic of our work.
That's right.
And the essential principle we hope to instill in our trainees.
Healing comes there as well. Now for the home remedies. They're taught home remedies as well.
Exactly.
Well, fill us in on some simple home remedies that we can use for hypertension or diabetes.
Some of the simple home remedies we may teach for high blood pressure would include things that actually relax the vasculature or the restriction that the high blood pressure is kind of faced with. Oftentimes people who are tense or anxious, they'll have something called vasoconstriction in certain areas that actually raises the blood pressure.
Yes.
Exercise will help with that, but for a quick measure against this, you can give a chair massage.
Okay.
And it's not, you're not massaging a chair, you're having the person sit in a chair and giving them a massage, just a back rub basically.
Right.
Simple back rub can actually lower the stress level, thereby reducing the high blood pressure. Another quick fix, and I found this to be an amazing remedy. We've oftentimes had people come to our health expos, and we've been in third world countries where there's not immediate access to care. And we'll have people that come with tremendously high blood pressure, and something needs to be done right away. As soon as I detect that, take those people outside, have them sit in the sunlight where hopefully it's not too much of a blazing heat, but sit in the sunlight and take some deep, slow breaths.
Okay.
Every single time that we've done that, we've seen a tremendous drop in the blood pressure.
Oh,
because it's relaxing, and something about the sun, the endorphins that are released through the sunlight exposure, the vitamin D, and even the gentle warmth of the sun on the skin helps to relax the vasculature and helps to ease high blood pressure. It's an amazing 10-minute quick fix for high blood pressure. In Simple Remedies, we not only teach things such as these, but also we teach hydrotherapy, which is the wise and skillful use of water in the treatment of disease. This used to be very, very popular 100 years ago, but it was eventually phased out because it was too labor intensive. But in terms of its remedial value, it's a tremendous, tremendous remedy. In fact, there was a case study that was done about 100 years ago with malaria. And there was a group that came into this clinic, and they were given the quinine, regular allopathic treatment, and a couple other doctors said, you know what, those drugs are too harsh. We don't really want to give them to our patients, if at all possible. Let's try hydrotherapy first and see what happens. Right. And so there was a group that took the drugs, and there was a group that did the hydrotherapy. All of the cases of the hydrotherapy malaria were cured. Every single one of them with no side effects. Good. Over here, you had a pretty good cure rate, but you had irreversible blindness, deafness, and destruction of organs and tissues, because a lot of these drugs have very, very toxic side effects. And so wouldn't it be nice to be able to use natural means that have no side effects?
Yes, of course.
And so this is why we teach these things.
Yes.
And also, furthermore, we teach our trainees so that they can, in fact, if they needed to, they could go to a third world country and operate with just their hands. They know how to grow their own food in the gardens.
Yes.
They know how to treat and attempt to find the cause, get to the root of the problem in sickness. And they can even do simple treatments such as hydrotherapy. And if you don't have water in an area, people generally will not live in that area very long.
Right.
So anywhere you go, you can basically practice hydrotherapy on a population.
Yes.
And of course, it's the wise and skillful use that's important. So this is why we have our trainees thoroughly equipped and thoroughly practiced in giving these treatments. One such treatment for using hydrotherapy for hypertension, high blood pressure, is something very simply known as the hot foot bath.
Yes.
Hot foot bath is actually, it's really a hot foot bath. You can do it in any container. You could even use a bathtub, but we tend to use something like a bucket or a basin, and the person would basically have their legs placed in a pot of warm water, borderlining on hot. You would raise the water temperature up to a maximum of about 110 degrees. If you have diabetes, of course, you have to be very careful.
That's right.
You do not want to really go over 102 or 103 degrees. And even that might be pushing it.
Right.
Because you can't really feel a lot at times when you have diabetes. And so a person could be easily burned.
Yes.
Could also cause circulatory problems. But for the regular person who has high blood pressure, a hot foot bath works wonders. What it does is it actually causes a dilation in the vessels in the legs and the feet, which actually allows more blood to flow there, thereby reducing the pressure of the blood everywhere else. And so it kind of relaxes the vasculature and allows the blood pressure to drop a little bit, to lessen. Now, it's amazing because when we look at the world's methods of treatments, oftentimes physicians are very, very careful not to give the wrong drug for the wrong thing. Why is that? Because it's going to cause problems over here if it's given.
Yes.
Now with a hot foot bath, if you give a hot foot bath for high blood pressure, it also takes care of many other things as well.
Yes.
If you have a bad headache, a pounding headache, oftentimes a hot foot bath will work wonders. For women who are suffering from menstrual cramps, oftentimes a hot foot bath will work wonders.
Yes.
And a hot foot bath will not do any harm if performed correctly.
Right.
In fact, it's amazing because many times when I've had hydrotherapy done on my person, I will find that I actually think better. Because of the circulatory, it's almost like you just exercise and you have that nice, clear, level head. I've come to some of the greatest conclusions of my life undergoing hydrotherapy.
Okay.
And so, in a sense, it's such a wonderful treatment to conduct on a person because they're in a clearer state of mind. They can talk to you and listen to you and really understand that you care for them and that you want to help them.
Yes.
And so it's a tremendous blessing to be able to work with someone using hydrotherapy.
Good. Very good. So what you're saying here now is that these simple home remedies truly brings about health and healing with no side effects.
That's right.
And that is absolutely wonderful.
Amen.
Okay, now, it's 20 years since I've been to UC Pines. What new now is being taught in the early department?
Okay. I'm hoping that there have been positive changes. I wasn't there 20 years ago,
Okay.
But I do know since I've been there for about 3 years, we've tried to make the course more and more practical.
Good.
Because we realize the need for anyone who's coming, whether it be the young person who is just getting into the, just finishing high school, wanting to know what they're going to do as far as a career, or the doctor coming in or the nurse coming in saying, oh, I'm tired of giving drugs that are really are hurting my patients. I want to learn how to do things a little bit differently. And we have those, and it's such a blessing to see them come through and be so willing to even lay down these preconceived ideas and notions and to really approach things with an open mind. And truly they gain a value from that experience, and we gain a value too from their experience too.
Yes.
It's wonderful to have a doctor or a nurse in our program. But in terms of changes, I guess the more practical side of things, a little bit more agriculture. We attempt to have our students really know how to have their own garden.
Okay.
Because we know that the world in which we live, especially in these economic times, is so uncertain.
Yes.
If you can grow your own fruits and vegetables, you're going to save a lot of money. And you're going to be able to provide a lot of healthy food as well.
Okay.
For your family and for yourself.
Okay, so the students are taught how to prevent disease. They also taught that disease can be reversed.
Yes.
And some of the, like cancer and multiple sclerosis, etc., can be placed in remission.
Yes.
Which is good.
Yes.
Now, the excitement is we've got 2 recent graduates. They went through the 6-month program, and then they went on to do the lifestyle counselor program.
That's right.
Where they actually get to work with the patients or the guests who come there to do these things, these treatment on them. And we've also got a few more who will be joining you later this year. Now, the excitement is that with all this training, and we say here that it's better in the Bahamas. But when I look at what's happening at UC Pines, I know the UC Pines are saying that's not so. Because a lot of the Bahamians come there, right, to take part in these programs.
Yes.
What do you intend to do? We were discussing about merging something and you coming back and training our people here.
Yes.
Those who are not able to go and spend a year or the year and a half or the 6 months at UC Pines. What do we have planned or what do we have coming up?
Well, there are 2 options that I'd like to discuss with you today.
Okay.
One is available to really anyone who would like to attend. It's a program that we're working with the conference on in a collaborative effort, and that is to have about a 3-week session where individuals come from Uchee Pines and we put on a training course, very practical training course.
Okay.
We'll have basically 2 sessions going on. If you are a night person or you have to work during the day, we'll have an evening session. and another session will be 3 days a week during the day. If you have to work evenings or for some reason you do have the time during the day, we'd love to have you there at that time. Now we're also going to be incorporating practical health evangelism events in this as well, such as the Health Expo.
Okay, good.
And other type of health fairs.
Okay.
And so our aim is in 3 weeks to have people go through an intensive program in order for them to be able to go and use this message to help others.
Good, good.
The second option that I had hinted to before in regards to training, a lot of people have difficulty in actually postponing their jobs and their family life, packing up, leaving for 6 months to come over to Uchee Pines. This is one of the reasons why we've developed a program called the Lifestyle Educator Extension Program. And it's a tremendous blessing for us to be able to offer this. It's an online-based program. And we actually have a little clip describing this. Maybe if we can actually cut to that now. Hello and welcome to this exciting look behind a new program offered by Uchee Pines Institute. This program is called the Lifestyle Educator Extension Program, and it is a 1-year course, online-based, that is designed to equip the medical missionary for active service in their community. You may be wondering where we got this concept from, and I'll take you there. It has biblical origins. If you'll turn with me to Matthew chapter 9, verse 35. It says, "Then Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues, preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people." We find that Christ sent out His disciples to do this very same thing. And we find the Great Commission given to all Christians to go ye therefore, teach, preach, and heal is still a part of that message to be brought to the ends of the earth today. If it's your desire to take hold of this missionary mindset, we think that you may be very pleased to know of the offerings that we have in the Lifestyle Educator Extension Program. From anatomy and physiology to Daniel and Revelation, we have all of the topics designed so that you can answer that question, what can I do to be made whole? Many people are perishing today for a lack of knowledge, and this may be the day to further your knowledge, to teach, preach, and heal.
Yeah, but share with us now a little more of what you foresee in the future or plan for things happening there at Uchee Pines, because we're now sending more and more of our youngsters to be trained there.
Yes. Well, each locale really needs their own training school.
Good.
They need their own training program. We hope to help establish these efforts in other fields. As well as also our focus is going to be on perfecting the city outpost evangelism method.
Okay.
This is something that we have been really told about in terms of evangelism for the past 100 years.
Yes.
And we haven't quite got it just right yet, because what we aim to see is a outpost evangelism method actually bringing people from a state of not knowing anything about health or wellness to a state of becoming happy and healthy, and even to a state of really embracing the full message.
Okay.
Embracing the full message of health and wellness, which, when it comes down to it, is accepting Jesus Christ as their Savior.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ron. I'm so happy that you were able to spend this time here with us. I trust that you will listen to us when we tell you more about our new program that's coming up, and you'll be a part of it, because God wants you to be healthy, He wants you to be holy, and He wants you to be happy. We love you. Thank you for listening to Focus on Your Health.